Yo people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for the Real Madrid versus Chelsea preview. And you already know it's a long day. Yeah, it's a long day. 3-1 down in the first leg. And I'm trying to clutch and crawl to hope and beg for mercy as this team go to the Santiago where we've never been before, especially full capacity as well, because last year it was a training ground. And just hope and just beg for something. Just a performance at this point. And yes, we had a great win at the weekend. 6-0. Absolutely slapped up the Saints. It was a beautiful day. Sunny day, sun shining, birds are chirping. It was a beautiful day at the coast. But it's not a realistic oppositional viewpoint of what we have to come. It's just, they're on the beach. They're just chilling. They're vibing. Hasenhüttl is giving out his Bundesliga treats to Timo Werner as he does on a yearly basis. 5 out of his 9 goals, people. I put this tweet up. 5 out of his 9 goals have come against Southampton. 9 Premier League goals in total since he joined Chelsea. 5 of them have come against Southampton. That's 55%.
That's still more than Bruno Fernandes this season, though. Just saying.
What? Have you run the numbers on that?
Just an assumption. No penalties. No fun.
You actually like him, so I don't know why you're now.
I don't know. Yeah,
I do. That's my thing. Don't steal my team.
I'm a big Bruno fan.
That's
I don't know why I'm doing that.
Don't try to hop on the bandwagon now.
Following the trends, if you would.
That's my thing. Like I said, 6-0 win at the weekend. And the biggest question, I'm going to start with this, because obviously team news, we saw Tuchel had a little short press conference for this match. No chill as per usual. Barkley's ill. Oh no. He's not available. Callum Hudson-Odoi, Lukaku, not available. Azpilicueta is flying. Loftus-Cheek played in this inverted wing-back role, third midfielder, advanced 8 position against Southampton. Now, I hear a lot of people talking about or asking the question, can he play against Real Madrid? Now, I'm going to answer that question from my point of view personally. And we're going to start with this before I get into my team and we go into other things as well. Real Madrid are not Southampton. Let's just make that very clear. Mendy and Vinicius, they don't play for Southampton. They play for Real Madrid. And Real Madrid's left-hand side and Real Madrid's attack is far superior to Southampton's. I shouldn't have to say that. But I'm going to have to say it. Because clearly people are forgetting.
Are you being serious? With Che Adams versus Benzema?
Mm-hmm.
No?
Yep.
No Che Adams for Ballon d'Or?
No Che Adams for Ballon d'Or. Okay. Yeah? I know we need to win the game. But do you know how we're going to win the game? By not conceding goals. So that's a very, very important point. And we didn't do a great job of that last time. Benzema, the most informed striker in the world right now, we need to not let him score. Vinicius.
The Polish would have something to say about that, but okay.
Okay. You're interjecting a lot now.
I am.
I feel like that second mic is
it's going to cause chaos.
Now,
yeah,
right?
it's going to cause chaos.
God damn. Vinicius on the left. Much better than Redmond, for example. Whoever's on that left-hand side for Southampton, and they played a 4-4-2 in this instance. For me personally, you cannot go into a game of this magnitude with Alonso and Ruben Loftus-Cheek at wing-back. And we're not going to play Azpilicueta on the left again, are we? So, if you're going to play Alonso and Loftus-Cheek, 2 players that are not very good defensively 1v1, and you're relying upon, because I've seen this argument made, Reece James is going to take care of Vinicius. Well, if that's going to happen, then he's going to be stretched, because Vinicius likes to start his plays from the left wing. He likes to start them from the flank, from the touchline. That's where he causes his problems. So if you're asking Reece James to come out there and deal with his ass, that's all well and good, but then you're leaving Thiago Silva and Rudiger, who I would assume are the rest of the centre-backs available to you in those options, to deal with Benzema. And Alonso is surely not going to help tucking in because, you don't want Alonso tucking in. So usually when we say we're going to push a wing back forward, we say we're going to bring the other wing back into the back 4. Do we want Alonso in the back 4? No, we don't. Against Real Madrid. We've seen Alonso in a back 4. It doesn't work. So we want Alonso to push up. The whole reason for playing Alonso on the left-hand side is so he can push up. But then you need the complementary other wing back to tuck in and make it a 4. And that's where Reece James comes into it for me at the right wing back spot. If you put Loftus-Cheek there and Alonso on the other side, you're leaving yourself too exposed, in my opinion. Far too exposed. And you're taking too much risk, too much gamble. Remember, we need to score the first goal to get ourselves back into the conversation. We need the second goal to equalize. No goals conceded. But that is, it's not realistic, but it's certainly within our grasp.
It's not impossible.
It's not impossible. I tell you what is impossible. Turning this shit around after going 1-0 down. Especially at the Santiago Bernabeu. You can forget about it. forget about it. So we still need to be defensively on point. In fact, we need to be better than ever defensively. Because as long as we haven't conceded, we're only 2 goals away from the promised land, which is just going to extra time. So we cannot afford to concede. Now, maybe Loftus-Cheek can come off the bench if we're needing that impact and that extra dynamic on that right-hand side as the game goes on. I do like him in that role in comparison to the 6. I don't think this is his position at all. Anyway, he's not a wing-back, but he's definitely better to play there than to play in the 6 because you don't want him sitting. You don't want to cage up Loftus-Cheek and have him closed off and confined to a role where he can't express himself and can't burst into the box and can't burst in between the lines. That's not what Loftus-Cheek is about. So it's better than him playing the 6, him doubling up and being an extra midfielder in an inverted wing-back, but not for this game. Not for this game, not for me. Alonso is going to play. You're not going to play Malang Sarr. You know, he hasn't featured in a few games now. He's not going to play in a game of this magnitude, and he's also error-prone. So you may as well go with Alonso, who at least going forward, who got a goal at the weekend, is going to give you something. Sarr's not going to give you anything going forward, and defensively, he's not reliable anyway. So that's the way I'm going defensively there. And like I said, I think we need to be a little bit more respectful of Real Madrid. I know we need to win the game. I know we're chasing. But we cannot go into a game against Real Madrid with 2 wing-backs that can't defend. So,
do you know what's going to be the X factor for this game that I feel like we should quickly harp on is whoever's going to be playing on the other side for Real Madrid? Because you could have Asensio, you could have, but I don't know if I think I'll probably go with Rodrigo just for pace because he can cause issues. He's not the best passer, but he can run with a ball, you know.
I hear that. I'm interested in Ancelotti's approach. Whether Ancelotti's going to go full throttle like he did at Stamford Bridge, he's going to be aggressive, he's going to want to attack, he's going to want to get goals, or is Ancelotti going to want to defend and sit off and look to counter? If he looks to counter, then Rodrigo with that pacing behind with Vinicius, Benzema dropping in and linking up the play, that suits them just fine. I don't know what they're going to try and do. Last time they had Valverde out there to tuck in and override us and overrun us in midfield and just have that extra man and dominate us, which they did. Now, so I don't know what Ancelotti's going to do, and that's why it makes it very difficult to decide. The other big question that everybody has, do we play Timo Werner? Well, like I said, Timo Werner is one of those players that I don't really have any confidence in to sustain his form. He may score a couple of goals as he has over the weekend, but it's not something that he's ever continued at Chelsea in terms of consistently game to game. Now we're going to be on form. I can't think of a moment where Timo Werner's actually been on form in terms of consistent performances for 5 games straight, scoring goals. I don't think that exists. Certainly doesn't when you've got 9 Premier League goals up until this point. Now, does he work in this game? Again, it depends on the way Ancelotti sets up. I don't think Ancelotti is going to be as naive and as stubborn and as foolish as Hasenhüttl was at the weekend where, okay, you see Timo Werner's on the pitch. You see Timo Werner's taking advantage of the high line. You see he's getting chances, but you don't change your tactics. If Ancelotti does choose to go aggressive, does choose to be on the front foot, does choose to leave some space in behind. Remember, there's no Militano. It's going to be Nacho at centre-back because he's suspended. I don't think Ancelotti's just going to sit there and allow that to continue to happen. If he sees Werner's taking advantage of a high line, he's going to make the defensive line drop off. And then how useful is Timo Werner when the defensive line is no longer high? Not very useful. So, again, that's tactically where I have an issue with Timo Werner playing this game because I think if you just make a reaction in game, he becomes useless immediately. Whereas Pulisic, I know he's been in rough form, but he has got a good record in big games. Obviously, he scored against Real Madrid last time we played them away from home last year. And he does tend to turn up. Now, he didn't turn up last week and he was poor. But, again, this is the risk we run. This is the risk we take. I think it's pretty obvious we're going to go with Mason Mount and Kai Havertz up top. Lukaku's not going anyway, but I wouldn't have started him regardless because the guy...
Wait, Lukaku's not going at all?
No, he's ill. I think he's got an Achilles.
Okay, I was about to ask, do you think Lukaku in this game, playing from an outsider's perspective, of course, playing a bit of bully ball, might have been a little bit effective against a weaker defensive line with Militano out and Nacho in?
Maybe, but with the way Kai's playing at the moment, I don't have Lukaku in my team at any point because I just don't feel like anytime Lukaku comes into the team, excuses come. Oh, we don't know how to service him. We don't know how to get the ball into him. We don't know how to play to his strengths. Well, then just don't play him. Simple as that. Because if we don't know what we're doing when he's on the pitch, then just leave him out and just go with the guy that we know how to play football, which is Kai. We know how to play football with Kai. We keep Kai in the team. And for me, like I said, with Lukaku, he did come on against Real Madrid. He had that chance and it went wide, and that was a great opportunity to make it 3-2 and put us a little bit more in contention. So I don't trust Lukaku at the moment. His movement in the box still stinks. He's still not creating his own opportunities, so to speak, still is heavily reliant on service. And this is not a team that has elite passes. If this was a Man City, I remember when you used to talk about, Ronaldo, he would just eat. Because you have elite passes. You have different... I mean, we watched that game at the weekend. We're not going to get into it too much now, but there was many elite passes on the football pitch. There's Trent. There's Van Dijk spraying it about. There's, Kevin De Bruyne. There's
Silva.
There's so many players that are... Foden. There's so many elite passes of the football. Chelsea don't have elite passes. They don't. They really don't. The best passer we could possibly pray for on our team is probably Ziyech. The best crosser is Reece James. But that's not on the level of some of the names that I've just mentioned. So, and they're not, obviously, they haven't been here consistently due to injury. So, I feel like to have a player like Lukaku, you need to have an absolute elite passer who's just going to stick that ball right exactly where he needs it time and time again, so he can only rely on the finish. We don't have that.
Or alternatively, he adapts his game to Chelsea. This idea that you come to the club and the whole team must cater to your wants and whims in terms of tactical formation is crazy. It didn't happen for Kai. It didn't happen for Timo. It didn't happen for Pulisic. They had to deviate and, more importantly, overcome their issues of squad building through the manager to achieve something in the team.
Exactly.
What are we talking about?
It's mad. It's almost like you can't just walk in and just get whatever you want. Crazy, right? So yeah, absolutely not for me. But like I said, my team is up on the screen now. It's going to be a difficult game. Like we saw, Benzema on ridiculous form. I think he was taken off with half an hour to go at the weekend. So he's well rested.
It was slick. It was half an hour to go. And I was like, I know what Ancelotti's doing. Okay,
well rested, tucked up, nice and early for bed. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, 2-0 up, you don't really need him.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned in the last preview that the midfield battle would be key. It's going to be key again. Now, whether Chelsea's midfielders actually want to get involved this time, it would be great to see. At least we could say there's a little bit more confidence maybe going into the game because of the win against Southampton, but I take that with a pinch of salt because it's Southampton. Kovac and Kante absolutely have to play this game. Listen, Jorginho, Kante, I had no problem with them playing last time because obviously I was thinking of prior tactics in last year's Champions League, but their influence has dropped off. It's as simple as that. Kante was a lot better at the weekend, but he's still very up and down, which is what I've said, inconsistent. People wanted to slash and slander, but I think they're starting to understand what I mean by inconsistent, up and down. But Kovac at the weekend comes back into the team. We look a lot smoother on and off the ball. We look a lot better, and he absolutely has to start this game now. No jokes, no messing about. The guy is absolutely pivotal to the midfield plans, and I can't wait for us to hopefully sign a DM in the summer so we can partner Kovac up with someone and see how that flourishes. For me, he's the midfielder you've got to be ready to partner up with if you're doing a pivot. If you're doing a 3, then obviously everything changes. But yeah, for me, Kovac's got to absolutely be in that team because we're going to have to cover the ground 100% against Real Madrid. I don't know, man. We can't give time and space to these brothers anymore. Modric, come on.
More importantly, you might have to start fast.
Yes.
Like, I can't explain to you how on the ball and aggressive you man have to start this game.
Sounds like it's people's sex life right now you're talking about.
Crazy. Oh, Tchouaméni as well. Yeah, that ain't look like it happening anymore, my boy.
Please do not ruin my day.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I'll turn off the mic.
Midfield is going to be absolutely pivotal. So, yeah, guys, just beware of these key battles. The left-hand side of Real Madrid's attack versus our right-hand side. Like I said, you know my plan in my head. For me, if Azpilicueta is available, he should be coming back in with Reece James at right wing-back. Christensen wasn't great against Real Madrid. He was twisted up quite a bit, and maybe his head is all over the place, maybe in the clouds. So if the option is to take him out the team, I would do so. Not too confident in throwing Trevor in this game as well, because Trevor was a bit ropey last time I seen him in the last few games. Couple of errors, and Vinicius is the kind of dribbler that I would worry for Trevor 1v1. Is he going to tug his shirt, give away a penalty? Not really here for any of that. So Azpilicueta's experience is needed. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Smash up the icons and give me your score predictions as well. For me, my score prediction is a realistic 1-1. If we win now, then hey, you've surprised me and you've sent us into the semi-finals, and I can just enjoy. But low expectations, and hopefully great things happen. In a bit, people. Peace.